Hi everyone, it's Beth Driver here, and this week you have a definition essay due. I've had a few students who have messaged me about some concerns they have about this essay, so I just wanted to give you some basic information about my expectations. First, I want you to know that I'm not expecting perfection. I do realize that this is your first essay for many of you, your first class at APUS, so I don't expect perfection. Okay, let's take a look at the assignment. It'll take a few seconds to load. Okay, there we go. All right. So first of all, your essay 1 is called the definition essay, okay? And second, see what's bolded here? Don't use first person. Okay, so that means you can't say, I think, I like to go, blah, 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 or even the word we, because we is first person plural. So make sure you avoid those words. You should also avoid second person. Second person is the use of the word you. However, note that if you make a couple of errors with using the third person pronouns, don't worry, I'll just fix them for you. I'll show you what I mean in my notes to you about your essay. You're not going to fail if you accidentally use the word I or you. Just try to avoid them. Basic essays have the following components. Now I'm going to pull it up in words so you can see what I mean. Okay, first, it has an introduction. The introduction is usually about 5 sentences or more. Try to make your introduction at least 5 sentences. The introduction works kind of like a funnel. You start with a very general statement and then you move to your specific thesis statement. A thesis statement contains your topic and your point about the topic. I'm going to say it again. Your thesis contains your topic and your point about the topic. So what should your thesis, your final sentence of your opening paragraph, be for the definition essay? Well, here's a sample thesis right here. Notice that this thesis is defining bravery. Bravery is fearlessness, courage to know one's mind, and, in the face of opposition, holding one's ground. That's your definition of bravery. Now look, these are the words you can focus on this week, right? So, if you were going to do wealth, you would define wealth in a similar manner. You could say wealth is, and then your 3 sections that define wealth. Anxiety is, and your 3 sections that define anxiety. So let's take this one. Bravery is fearlessness, courage to know one's mind, and in the face of opposition, holding one's ground. I'm going to cut and paste that. I'm going to put that right there. So this is my thesis statement. It's the final sentence of the opening paragraph. Okay? Now, what will we talk about first in the first body paragraph? This is the first body paragraph, the number 1. That comes after your introduction, following the thesis statement. Well, kind of easy. You already say it in your thesis. Bravery is fearlessness. That would be your first body paragraph. Guess what the second body paragraph is? Exactly right. Courage to know one's mind. You discussed that. Third body paragraph. And in the face of opposition, holding one's ground. Of course, these body paragraphs start with a topic sentence though, not just these fragments. And what you want to do is try to add a transition in these body paragraphs. First, being brave means being fearless. That could be the topic sentence of your second paragraph, which is your first body paragraph, the one that comes after the introduction. Also, when a person is brave, that person has the courage to know that person's mind. And the reason why I'm switching from a person and I had to change the word there is because you want to make sure your pronouns match. So you don't want to say a person and there because a person is singular and there is plural. That was an aside. So hopefully I'm not confusing you. All right. The third paragraph is, and in the face of opposition, holding one's ground. So your topic sentence for that paragraph could be, finally, bravery means that in the face of opposition, a person holds one's ground, or something like that. You probably would word it better, but you want to have each body paragraph follow the outline you've set up in that final sentence, which is your thesis statement of the introduction. Your final sentence of the introduction should be your thesis statement, and it kind of gives us the outline for your paper. Okay? Then you have one more paragraph. It's your conclusion. Do not write in conclusion. Get out of that habit. We know it's your conclusion because it's the final sentence of your opening paragraph. Your conclusion does summarize your discussion, though. You shouldn't bring in any new information. It's probably the hardest paragraph to write, and I recognize that. Okay, it's a very difficult paragraph, but that also needs to be at least 5 sentences. Your conclusion rewords your thesis in light of your discussion, and it summarizes the points that you've made in your essay. Briefly, and then I'll let you go because this is getting to be a little bit long, when you write your introduction and your conclusion, you kind of want them to go together. So oftentimes what people do is they bookend it. They start with a certain point, and then they end their paper with a certain point in light of their discussion. Okay? So, for example, you could start with a little anecdote, not personal though, remember you can't use first person, and then you end with a similar anecdote. That would be one way to do it. But you kind of want them both to work together. It's kind of like you're creating a sandwich, and your introduction and your conclusion are the bread, and then you have the components of the sandwich inside the bread pieces. However, your introduction must include that thesis statement at the bottom of the opening paragraph. Your body paragraph should contain 5 sentences at least. You can have more than 3 body paragraphs. If you want to expand your introduction and you want 3 components, if you want 4 components, or if you want 2 components, that's fine as long as you meet the word count. I hope this helped you a little bit. Please let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day.